This video is going to explain portions of your workbook pages for this week. On workbook page 4.4, you're going to have some input-output charts. And what you're going to do with that is you are going to tell if you have this many nickels, how many cents you have. So what you have to remember is how much a nickel is worth. And I hope you said to yourself, I know a nickel is worth 5 cents. So you can see one of them is done for you here. 7 nickels is worth 35 cents. And I hope you know that that's because they said 7 times 5, because 5 is the amount a nickel is worth. 7 times 5 is worth 35 cents. So if we have 2 nickels, that would be 2 times 5, and that would be 10 cents. And then 4 nickels would be 4 times 5, which would be 20 cents. And 5 nickels would be 5 times 5, 25 cents. And 9 nickels would be 9 times 5, which would be 45 cents. So you'll have an input-output chart for nickels and one for dimes. And the thing you have to remember about the dimes input-output chart is that a dime is worth, I hope you said 10 cents, because a dime is worth 10 cents. So that's a little bit of a difference in the regular input-output charts we have. Then when you get to workbook page 45, there's another kind of input-output chart that gives you the rule up here. And it goes vertically instead of horizontally like this one did. So that's the difference there. And what this rule is multiply the input by whatever number it tells you up here. And this one tells you by 9. So you'll say 1 times 9 would give you 9. And the next one, you multiply 3 times 9 and you get 27. And 4 times 9 is 36. And 7 times 9 is 63. And 9 times 9 is 81. So that's how you do those. Pay attention to the rule that they give you up there. Follow the directions, and we're just filling them in vertically instead of horizontally. That's the only difference there. Then at the bottom of that page, you have another problem that, excuse me, I don't think is that difficult, but I want to review some vocabulary with you, and then I think the directions are confusing. So I'll go over those directions. So it asks, what could be the missing factors in triangle times circle, which basically means blank times blank equals 48. Now remember, or maybe you don't remember. So if you don't remember, I'll just remind you or teach you that factors are the numbers you multiply together to get the product. So in 3 times 4 equals 12, 3 and 4 are the factors. 3 and 4 are factors of 12. Now there are other factors of 12. What else could you multiply together to get 12? Well, you could do 1 times 12. So 1 and 12 are factors of 12. You could also do 2 times 6. So 2 and 6 are factors of 12 because they're numbers that you multiply together to get 12. So in a problem like this, now I'm not doing the exact problem that your book has because I want you to figure it out, but I'm doing another similar one. So this means blank times blank equals 48. You are trying to find all the numbers that you could possibly multiply together to get 48. I always like to start at the beginning. I like to start with the number 1. And 1 times what is going to give you 48? I hope you said 48. 1 times 48 is going to give you 48. So those are two factors. That's one math problem that you could do to get 48. What's another math problem? That will help us come up with two more factors. Well, I like to start at the beginning with 1, and then I like to advance to 2. So this is an even number, which means 2. You can multiply 2 times something and get 48. Now, can you think, what would you multiply times 2 to get 48? If you cut 48 in half, what would half of it be? I hope you said 24. 2 times 24 will give you 48. And I know that 24 is not on your regular multiplication chart. That's just because your multiplication chart only goes up to 12. But we could go higher than that. So here's two more factors. Then it wants to know 3. 3 times what would give us 48? Well, if you think real hard, 3 times 3 times 16 will give you 48 because 3 tens is 30 and 3 times 6 is 18 and 30 plus 18 is 48. So that one would work. And then 4 times what would give you 48? You're familiar with your 12s. You know it's 12. Will 5 work as a factor? Well, when we multiply anything by 5 to get 48, if you recall your 5s, every answer to a 5 multiplication problem either ends with 5 or 0. So 5 is not going to work here. Can we multiply 6 times any number and come up with 48? I hope you said 8. 6 times 8 is 48. So far we have 1 and 48, 2 and 24, 3 and 16, 4 and 12, and 6 and 8. Those are all factors of 48. Can we multiply 7 times anything and get 48? Well, 7 times 6 is 42, and 7 times 7 is 49. So we can't multiply 7 times anything. Can we multiply 8 by anything? Yes, we can. We can multiply it by 6. We already have that written down, so that's how we know we're finished, because we've repeated something. There's no need for us to write 8 times 6 because we already have it written as 6 times 8. Those are the factors, whether we put them this way or whether we reverse them. So this is as many factors as you can find. Now, the question in your book asks you to find the factors of 36. And then it wants you to explain it. I'm okay if you don't explain it. I will tell you one of the most effective ways of finding all the factors for 36 is to use your multiplication chart. Now, there might be a couple on there or a couple that aren't on your multiplication chart, just like 2 and 24 and 3 and 16, and of course 1 and 48 aren't going to be on a traditional multiplication chart. But that's how you figure out problem 20 on workbook 4.5. And then this is for workbook 4.8. You're going to have some problems that look like this. And remember our balance, where we have one little pan here and one little pan over here, and we try to make it even. It's like a scale. This is the same thing. We want this part to be equal to this part. So we have to figure out the part that we know. We can figure out 11 plus 9. And what is 11 plus 9? Well, 11 plus 9 is 20. We have to ask ourselves, if this side equals 20, what can we put over here to make this side equal 20? 5 times what? will equal 20. I hope you said 4. So now this side equals 20. 5 times 4 is 20, and 11 plus 9 is 20. So what you need to put there is a 4. You want to get these two sides to equal. All right, and here's the same thing. 3 times something is going to equal 6 plus 9. Well, we know we can figure this part out. 6 plus 9 equals what? I hope you said 15, because 6 plus 9 is 15, which I'm going to type right there. So this side equals 15. We want this side to equal 15. So what can we put here on the blank? 3 times what will give us 15? I hope you said 5. Now this equals 15, and that equals 15. So that's what you do for these types of problems.